All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions. Now, folks, they just won their first playoff game in over 30 years this past weekend against the Los Angeles Rams. Here's what's crazy. This is where the magic is officially going to begin. All freaking season, all off season, all last season, I've been hearing when the Detroit Lions finally get to the playoffs, if and when that happens, they will do one thing. They will choke it in the first game that they play. They did not choke it. In fact, they won 24-23 at home. It was very emotional. I know every Lions fan is extremely excited right now. It just is a special season for this Detroit Lions team. It's just a special thing that this organization has been doing, is doing, and is going to be doing, but they're over the hump here. And you play a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team this upcoming weekend, and keep in mind, they won 20-6 the first time these two teams met up, and Jahmyr Gibbs didn't play, CJ Gardner-Johnson didn't play, Jonah Jackson didn't play, Brian Branch didn't play, James Houston didn't play, David Montgomery got injured and didn't play. It was just a completely different Lions team, and it also was a completely different Buccaneers team, but huge win. Tampa Bay getting it over Philadelphia, like getting the team that made the Super Bowl out of the playoffs is huge, and the Detroit Lions are one of 4 teams remaining in the NFC. Like, folks, this is where the fun officially begins. So before we get into today's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Lions fans, you guys have been riding with me for well over a year. I appreciate you guys so much. I am holding my breath. I'm crossing my fingers right now that we can get a Packers-Lions conference championship, because I think that would be absolutely legendary. That would be unbelievable. But if we could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. We're pretty much posting daily Lions content on this channel right now. So Jared Goff, here's the thing, man. The Detroit Lions didn't play a crazy impressive football game. You know, they gave up over 400 yards. They gave up 425 yards, and they only gave up 23 points. And the Detroit Lions secondary, their defense, but mainly their secondary, was a huge concern for a lot of people heading into these playoffs. And we're sitting here, we're looking at these guys like, you know, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, CJ Gardner-Johnson coming back, Cameron Sutton. Like, we're looking at these players and we're thinking to ourselves, all right, it's showtime. It's time to step up right here. Aaron Glenn and the whole Lions defense has really done their job. I needed to see more than 3 points in the second half. I do think Dan Campbell and this Detroit Lions offense, Ben Johnson, I think they got a little too I want them to keep their foot on their gas. And we talk about it in every Lions video, and I won't rant about it today, but like, if this Lions team could put together a complete 4-quarter football game, they would have won 14 games, and they will be well on their way to at least the Super Bowl appearance. So I want to see consistency, but there's a lot to like. And I want to talk about this defense actually really quickly, because Aiden Hutchinson has been a huge reason that this Detroit Lions defense is playing the way they are right now. And it's not only just generating pressures, but it's also generating pressures, or I should say, it's not only getting the sacks and the QB hits, but it also is just really helping out your secondary, and it's helping everybody else out. So Aiden Hutchinson, his last 3 games, 7 sacks, first in the NFL, 23 pressures, first in the NFL, a pass rushing grade of first in the NFL. This dude, by the end of the playoffs, by the end of this season, we've been saying all year, you're going to need to put something before you say star player, rising star Aiden Hutchinson. You're going to need to put the word super before that star word. Aiden Hutchinson is turning into a superstar right before our own eyes, and he can take over football games. He really can take over football games. So heading into Tampa, or them heading into Detroit, but heading into this football game, the trenches are going to, and the trenches usually determine the outcome of the football game, but it's going to be big, because the Detroit Lions have one of the best offenses in the National Football League. And, you know, offensively speaking, they finished the season 5th in the NFL in rushing yards with over 2,300. They averaged 4.6 yards per carry, which was good for 5th in the league. And they tied for 1st in total rushing touchdowns with 27. And once again, they did not have Jahmyr Gibbs, and that was a completely different Jahmyr Gibbs. It was a completely different Detroit Lions offense in the first half of the season than it is right now. David Montgomery ends up getting injured, and the Buccaneers do have a really solid defense, especially in the rushing department. Tampa Bay had the fifth best run defense in the NFL. They also tied for fourth in the NFL in rushing yards per carry allowed with only 3.8. And they only allowed 11 rushing touchdowns this season. So if Detroit can at least get some stuff going, they didn't run the ball all that great. 25 carries, 79 yards, and 2 touchdowns against Los Angeles this past Sunday night. But I do expect Jahmyr Gibbs to be more creatively used. 8 carries, 25 yards. He did have that important touchdown. But I do expect Jahmyr Gibbs to have a really good game, even though the Buccaneers' rush defense is what they're really good at. Now, where the Bucs defense really comes into struggle is the pass department. They are not a good pass defense. You got guys like Antoine Winfield Jr. who's going to make plays. But here's the thing, man. If Jared Goff can keep it clean and this Detroit Lions team can keep it clean, which they've done all season, I really don't know why they're going to lose this football game. Obviously, these are kind of the two big underdog stories in the National Football League, especially in the NFC. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also playing with house money, but so is Detroit at the end of the day, man. Just because they won 12 games, once again, all season, I heard, oh man, when we get into the playoffs, the Detroit Lions are going to be the Detroit Lions that we all know. Like, they're just going to lose in grand fashion in their first game, and that is not what happened. So this is not the same Lions team that I saw growing up. This is not the same Lions team of previous regimes. This is a special breed, and the energy and the passion and the aura and all these guys, the momentum, these guys love each other. They're united. Everybody loves Dan Campbell. Everybody loves Brad Holmes. Like, this is a special team, and I can't wait for this upcoming Sunday afternoon. This is not an official prediction video. This isn't a preview video per se, but I do have Tampa Bay winning this game. It is playoff football. It's not going to be an easy win, but man, if you can keep it clean, and even if they decide to just go all in on stopping the run like they did in the first meetup, Jared Goff's just going to throw. And Tampa Bay's defense gives up a lot of big chunk passing plays. Jared Goff coming off a 22-27 game, 277 yards and a touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams. If we go back to week 6 on the road in Tampa, 30-44, 353 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the good news as well is Sam Laporta. Here's what Dan Campbell said about Sam Laporta. He helped us win, and he feels better this week than he did last week. And he caught a touchdown, and obviously he was banged up, and it was pretty much a miracle that he came back. We did predict it on this channel if there was going to be a medical staff that was going to get Sam Laporta good to go and good to play this past weekend. It was going to be the Detroit Lions. But I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably at this point the most under-recognized wide receiver in the National Football League. I've got Josh Reynolds coming off a phenomenal game, 5 catches, 80 yards. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs, who can catch some balls, 4 catches, 43 yards. Jameson Williams' confidence has been sky high at the second half, the last month especially, of the regular season. And yeah, I've got a healthier Sam Laporta this upcoming weekend. So I can't wait. We'll do a deeper dive, a deeper preview on this game as the days go by, as we prep for Sunday. But that's it for today, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, but give me an early score prediction for what you think the Lions Buccaneers will be on Sunday afternoon. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. As always, drop that comment, and we will see you next time.